Kyle. Right, welcome back to Enemy Action Kharkov, Soviet Solo, Take 2, Part 76. Still trying to get this miserable turn finished. It's dragging on, and yeah, we're getting a beating. We're getting smashed about here. Okay, so we did complete this part. There was 2 units here that were active, part of the Manstein card, and 1 got drawn in with a major offensive joint attack. So these are the 3. Here's where the camp group was, this unit here. So this and these 3 58 core units. Still looking at a major offensive. So this now becomes a lead unit stack, and this is also the inactive unit. So we're looking to see if we can get 3 times proximate there. Now, right, I can't remember. You know what? I wish I'd put dice on these. I was going to put dice when I was looking at them, and then I changed my mind. So he's 8, but remember they're still getting. They're getting a -3. Well, this is getting -3 because it's unsupported. The Manstein card's a 5, and this is a major offensive card. Each one of them give a -1 to situational strength. So that's 8, right, 8, wasn't it? 8 -3, so that is 5. So we're looking for weakest. So he's probably not. I get the feeling it could be this guy. This guy's 9. He does get a +1 and a -3 because he's adjacent to Soviet unit. So that's 9 -2, so that's 7. So 5, 7, but these 2 are 5. Now normally you'd get a +1 for the IP, but it doesn't, because I noted this later that engineers is on the card, so that stops that from happening. So he would get a +1 for being adjacent, so that takes him to 6, and then he's got the -3, so he's actually a 3. And 4, 8, 11 against 3. There's more than 3 to 1. So even without bringing the 2nd SS unit around, which he might well be able to, no, maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're broken. So he could reach this hex if there was space. Which there might be, actually. Yeah, there might. Okay, so that is the weakest that they can reach. I think if you come down in here, it's not going to be as brutal because this is in support. I don't think they can get down here. So that's 1, 2, 3. Well, that's not true, Grant. They can. So what is this? This is 5. Wouldn't get the +1 for the IP, but would get the +1 for the adjacent, so that's 6. Then he would only get -2, one for the Manstein card, 1 for the major offensive. That takes it down to 4, but he wouldn't get the extra -1 for being unsupported because he's in support. So that's a 4, that's a 3. What was it? That was a 7, and that's a 5. So this is the weakest here. Yeah, and don't think there's any other option. But yeah, we looked at that guy because they probably could get around. Wouldn't be able to get around to this. Yeah, definitely not. Okay, so they are going to actually go for this guy here. Okay, and there's a possibility. No, I think he'll break that restriction that he was going to break earlier. I'm looking at this, who's an inactive unit from the same army. Right, okay. So we're going to go ahead with this. So Unit 2 is the... Right, been on pause for a couple of hours there. So just trying to catch up before I hit record. I'm pretty sure we are attacking here, aren't we? These are the active units. this has a strength of, I want to say it's 3. It's 5, doesn't get the +1 for that, gets the +1 for that, that's 6. But then gets -3, yeah, because -1 for that card, -1 for that card, -1 for not being a support. So it does indeed put it down to a 3. Yeah, and that was the weakest. Yeah, okay. And yeah, this alone had 11 against 3, which is 3 to 1. Good, okay. So he's the lead unit. And although we're adjacent, we can look at possibly moving around. Which it is possible he might get flanked this time, maybe. I find it a little strange that they only have it as the 2 options. You know, become surrounded, become flanked. I suppose they're the important ones, right enough. Maybe it's not so relevant to just try and get an empty hex. I think there was more of that in Ardennes, but maybe they found that wasn't as important, hitting an empty hex. But the important bits were flanking and surrounding, which, or maybe not in that order, the other order, obviously. So unit 2, so, well, can we get flank then? It's going to be 3 to hit that hex though, because it's broken, breaking surround, breaking zone of control. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, yeah. It's too much to get into, isn't it? So he's not going to move at all, then, is he? In fact, all 3 of them are not going to move because they're already adjacent. Will move to a different hex adjacent if doing so causes the Soviet unit to become surrounded or become flanked. So no, they're not actually. Yeah, I get the feeling that second SS unit's not going to move though, is he? He's going to break a restriction, isn't he? Pretty sure. Okay, so if they're not going to move at all, but they are going to attack, and even if it's just A3 that come in, if he is breaking a restriction, it doesn't matter, we've got 11 strength there. So that 11 strength is attacking at a situational 3 to 1. Okay, so well, actually, we should be looking at these in order. So that's 2, 4, and then 7. So the unit on the bottom shouldn't actually be. This should try and move before that. But I mean, 1, 2. Where are we here? 1, 2. Maybe he can't even reach. No, I think he could only reach this hex, couldn't he? So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he can only reach that hex, but then he would move. That's quite an interesting one, isn't it? So these 2 are settled. They're sitting here. We are then looking at moving this guy. He can only reach this hex. Now this unit could actually go out and in, reaching this hex, but there's nothing to tell him to do that. Because I mean, if this guy could reach this hex, he would, because it's an empty hex. So, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He needs one more movement to get into there. But you can see what I'm saying. This guy can make space in that hex for that unit by moving out and in. But I don't think there's anything that instructs me to do that. No, I don't think so. However, yeah, after just pausing there and thinking about it to find something, I mean, I don't think there is anything there, but like I've just said, if this unit was to move from here down to here, then, well, if I move these cards out of the way, is there not something up there as well? Yeah. Boltova. These units now become, I think, oh, maybe not, because it's a strange entrance into well, actually, they can get on the road now, so maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, maybe not. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can they not get to Krasnograd though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they can. Yeah. So yeah, this guy can't move. Yeah, because we already looked at when something else moved from here if there was breaking or restriction, but it wasn't, was it? Poltova's kind of hard to get into because of that. So, I mean, I don't believe there is anything that says this guy should move down to let this guy in anyway, so... And the thing is, this unit would move first before he moved, because he's, although they're the same selector number, second SS is the lowest core. So, and you can actually overstack temporarily as long as you know that the unit's going to move away, if it's definitely going to move away, but there's nothing to say that unit should move away. Although it can, there's nothing to say that. And I don't think there's anything built into the rules to take care of that. You know, whereas, again, it's one of these ones yourself. What would you do yourself? Clearly, you would make room by moving this guy out and in, so that there's room for this guy to go in at the hex that he could reach. But, however, again, it's, I guess, just one of these things that the German AI kind of lacks in. Well, you know what they're doing to me right now. I'm going to let that go. Well, however, like I've already pointed out, it would be breaking a restriction from moving anyway, so it doesn't look like he's going to budge at all anyway. I just moved the camera in there to set up a bit closer, and then I realised that we do need to look at... Well, we need to look at it. I don't think it's moving. So we have satisfied... Let's look at the card. All right, now here's one thing. Right, let me zoom in a little bit. Hang on. Yeah, Martin had made another reply to my join the attack question, because I was still unsure if he meant, although I think he pointed out in the other post, I was still unsure if he meant if the units all acted together and you done them. You looked at everybody, even the join the attack units, and joined them all together, and then went in ascending order. Well, after the lead unit, obviously, then went in ascending order. And eventually he said that he thought it was the other way, but he's convinced now that it is that way, that you would move the active units first, then join the attack units. So active units in ascending order, join attack units in ascending order. And the reason he gave was something like what I was talking about, because like I think, but I'm not sure Tom Castle understood what we were talking about, so that was fair enough. But he had said, what is the difference between it? Well, and the difference is that if you were to activate them, like I said, some units would enter the hex, and like this situation, this is fully stacked now, and it could be units that were joining the attack rather than active units. This is what Martin pointed out, and kind of what I was saying as well, that you could get a situation where, you know, some units would be getting in there first when we need to know if they're entitled to be there first, and some units maybe not able to reach the attack because a hex is then overstacked, etc. But Martin also added, and this is a bit that I maybe should have made some comment about. He said because this was part of the situation, that the active units were part of the situation and the non-active join attack units were not. Well, I mean, you could argue that a bit, Martin, by saying that, okay, I get the fact, the situation, you need units to move adjacent, but the units don't actually move until the action part, do they? The action part says all active units proximate to qualifying target move adjacent to target and attack. Whether, yeah, it's just that the non-active proximate units, although they're at the end of the paragraph here, they are still part of the action. So I think that's how I kind of felt that it could be looked at in either, different ways. I get your point, and that's what I was saying about the fact that you could end up with units not able to reach there, and then because they were a lower selector number, you were getting join attack units getting there first. So I agree with how I think that, if John does jump onto that post and confirm it, I'm pretty sure that's how he would read it. However, I'm not so sure it's as clear as what's written there. But then you do have a way of seeing these things and knowing about these things slightly more in depth than what I do. So you could well be right that it is clear that the situation and the action, within that. Anyway, okay. So what was? This was regarding join. So is there any non-active proximate units in the lead unit's army that could join the attack? Right. Well, the lead unit was lead unit number. Well, hang on. This guy's in here as well now, isn't he? Let's just put him in there. We got 2, 4, and 7 selector number wise, and we know that the other active unit is not going to join because he's going to break the restriction. So, and it's army, not corps, so he is part of the 4th Panzer Army. Now, these two guys over here are, actually, I didn't consider them for this one, did I? Did I? I looked at them before, and when was it? We were looking at them. I can't remember. But you know what? They're probably able to get there, aren't they? And the thing is, I thought it might just be this guy, but hold on, if he comes there though, is that not? Are we causing any trouble? Right, okay. Let's stop there just now, Grant. You've got your active units, all your active units that can reach, you've got them, right? Now, these 3 look like they might be proximate. Hang on a minute. Oh my. Let's expand the situation a little bit more. We have some units down here. Right, let's get the infantry out of the way because I don't... 1, 2, 3. Oh, he can reach. Oh, God. I just want this turn to end. And not in a way that I'm getting frustrated and tired by the turn. It's not that. It's just I'm getting battered about stupid here. This has been a terrible turn for me, and we can completely forget about trying to end this game on turn 9, I think. I think we are looking into the long haul here. I'm pretty sure it's going to come down to that. You'd be glad to hear. I'll be on a part 100 and... have a guess, Grant. 131. There you go. There's my guess. 131 before we're finished. There's my guess. I need to remember. What part are we on now? 76. I need to remember and go back because I'll forget that number. 131. Right. Okay. Right, where was I? Okay, so we've got a lot of units to consider. So all these units to consider, and we need to look at them in ascending order. We've got a number 1 here. Here's 1, isn't it? So a 1, a 6, a 10. There's a 6, a 13. This guy cannot. He's having to cross over, but the infantry underneath is actually proximate too. So, yeah. So unit number 1 then, he's up here. Well, let's look at him first without zooming in too far, because the big one here could be breaking certain restrictions. So he can go, now remember we can't, this is full now, this is set, so we can only reach these 2 hexes, and this one's going to be a tough nut to like hit, really, isn't it? Because it's going to be at least, it's going to be 3 movement or 2 for infantry to reach that, and we cannot get through to here. So it's basically, it's probably this hex. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, I went a bit off-road and then on-road because it's broken here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, I mean, he's only got that choice. There's no way he's reaching the woods. I get the feeling none of them are going to reach the woods. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yes, they are. This guy can reach the woods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. Help. Right. So, is he breaking any restrictions? Bear in mind, he is still coming under the major offensive card, so does not care about ending in dangerous rounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I needed to put a cube. Was he there? Yeah, that's where he was. He's not opening anything up, which is when you're that far away, that's really what you look at. It's when you're closer by, you're worrying about putting other units in dangerous rounds. So no, I'm going to go with that. So what is next? Is it this guy? I think it is. He's unit 6. Well, hang on, no. We've got a unit 6 here. But he's 48th Corps. He's 2nd SS. So, yeah, this unit 6 is going to go first. So, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's just the same, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, crossing the minor river. 4, 5. Yeah, he can't reach. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, he can't reach. Okay. Right, so that's him out the equation. So then we look at this. Look at this bad boy down here, and he is the one that can reach this. Now, if he's got a choice between this and this, it's going to come down to empty hex. No, he's not surrounding. There is an out hex here. However, it is going to come down to empty hex because it's going to be surround, no. To a hex it's not occupied by or adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So all these hexes qualify for that. So we move on to the next option, which is empty hex. Right, I'm starting to get past that bit now and not even look at the book. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, and then the last guy is the infantry here. Now, he is in a VP town, so I'm guessing he's maybe not going to go 1, 2. He can only reach this one. He cannot 1, 2, 3. He can't reach here, so he would be moving to there, but I'm pretty sure he's breaking a restriction, isn't he? He's going to leave that town open, isn't he? Yes, he is, yeah. So, no, he's going to stay back there. But this guy coming up, I don't think that's a restriction broken. Because, you know, he's came from a hex where there's another unit, and there's not a restriction that says don't leave only so much strength in a VP town or anything like that, you know. And again, like I say, none of these guys care about being in dangerous round, obviously. They're not putting anybody else in dangerous round. He's not broke a Soviet unit out of surround, so yeah, I think that's good. Now hold on. We're not finished yet, are we? We've jumped on Unit 13 and forgot about Unit 10 because I realised that he might be able to still get in. So that was 1, 6, 10 would be next. So I'm looking at 13 out of order here. Because I think 10, and he can reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can reach either hex. So let's just say, well, why don't we find the hex that we'd move to? It's going to be most movement points. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to go in the woods as well. So let's just see though. Because although there was a gap through here, there's now not, and this garrison is protecting things. So I think he's okay with that, because these guys can't reach. Well, first of all, they probably don't even have the movement, because now they're going to have to come here rather than go along the road. So it's like 1, 2, 3, then crossing a minor river, 4, 5 into there, and then they've got to stop because they're at the garrison. Yeah, so that's going to go as well then. Yeah, and then I should be looking at Unit 13, but he will break his restriction because he goes up into here and then this is exposed, which they don't want to do. Right, okay, well I think we've got our squad for this battle as well, and it doesn't look very good either, does it? I mean, I said the last time, I think, before I started counting things up and drawing chats, that wait a minute though, because once this takes away the situational strength, this is 5 strength, but there's probably a lot more than we had in that last battle, and you've seen what they've done to us. Okay, we have no cards to play anyway, so we cannot play combat tactics. They get a load of tactics themselves without even drawing one yet. It's just horrible. It's getting worse and worse and worse. Right, I'm going to adjust the cards a little bit here. Okay, so what have we all got here? Right, let's take care of the numbers first then. Yeah, okay, let's do the numbers first. So that's 11, and just to try and get the chip pools as well, they're all 2-step units. So 3 chip pools. I'll probably forget and have to look at them again. We know that. So 11, 14, 17, 20. So we've got 20. They're all 2-step units, and it's 20 against 5 now, because that's what we're looking at. No situation anymore. It's 20 against 5. So it's 41. So I'll put this up just now. 41. And remember, we don't need to care about, well, when I say don't care about it, we don't need to be concerned with, that's not the right words either. If target is eliminated, dispersed, conduct another activation with the same command card after current activation, because that's already triggered, that's set in place. So if it happens again, it doesn't do it, well, at least I don't think it does. No, I mean it just happens. What is it, 10.56? Yeah, it's the next page. We'll reward the Germans with a second activation if one or more attacks, there you go, triggered by a card. If it's achieved, then upon completion, yeah, so it doesn't like stack up and they keep going and going, because we might not see the end of turn 7 if that was to happen, the way they're going, just steamrolling through us. So that's already triggered, so we don't need to bother with that. So 41 odds, and there definitely is more than 6 steps, so they're going to break off at A4 just while looking at that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. 6 chits. Air power is 7, intelligence is 8, engineers is 9, and we've not drawn a combat tactic yet. So 9 chip pools. I'm just going to draw the card. Now this is the last card of the deck as well. Oh, hold on a minute then. They don't replenish their deck unless they're looking for... Right, are you making things up here, Grant? I want to say that I don't think they replenish the deck unless it's just for a combat tactic. But I could be thinking of a different game. As in something within Ardennes or something within the other solo version. Right, let's draw the card first. So it's combat engineers. So that is not going to do anything because we've already got combat engineers. Yeah, so I can chuck that, and it doesn't shuffle in. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to look that up. But let's set everything in place here first. So they've got air power. They've got engineers. Engineers, cause we've got an IP. We remove the IP. He doesn't get extra strength. We just remove the IP. The fact we're not in support is that. No, I know it affects intelligence, but I don't think it does affect the combat engineers, does it? Combat engineers attack. Remove an IP if present. Defender may not play combat engineers. We'll have no cards anyway, so that's that bit done. So intelligence, let's have a look at that. Yeah, let's. Right, so German attack. The German CV is considered to be a 5. Well, we've been here before. We know it's a 5, and what that means is if it is a 5 or a 4, we increase Soviet hits by 1, right? And then because we're outside Soviet support. Hold on. These attackers are inside the support. Does that count? I know there's a bit that... Or is it the other way about? Is it the other way about? Wait, I'll pause a second. Yeah, I got the feeling that didn't sound right. No, it's when you're attacking, it says that if at least one attacking unit or the German defender are in a hex and Soviet support, the attack is supported. But unsupported defence says Soviet units defending in a hex outside Soviet support against a German attack are considered unsupported. It's just, I guess I was thinking these are attacking from my support side, but yeah. I'm trying to get anything I can get here. I'm scrambling. Okay, so intelligence, German attack. So increase hits by 1 to us, and then because it's outside Soviet support, disregard 1 hit to them. So there you go. So that was air power, intelligence, and engineers taken care of. Now what did I... Yeah, I want to know about the cards situation. I mean, it's not relevant to this combat, so we could just push on with that, Grant, couldn't we? No, I'm wanting to know. Hang on. Okay, well, it's not this game. Right, page 10. Rule 3 as repeat impulses. And the very last paragraph is... let's read it fully. Repeat Soviet and German impulses in the command phase until you have no cards left in your hand and draw pile. If all Soviet cards run out during the Soviet impulse, which is what happened, complete the impulse, then conduct one last German impulse to end the day, which is what we're doing. This never-ending impulse that we're doing. If all Soviet cards run out during the German impulse, complete that German impulse to end the day. That didn't happen. The game turn ends even if cards remain in the German draw pile. And then the last paragraph here is, if the German command deck runs out at any point in the game turn, immediately reshuffle and start the German deck over. Right, so it must be one of the other games. I guess German solo might do that, but it's certainly done something like that in Ardennes where you only drew cards when it run out if it was for a combat tactic, I think. Well, that's the same in German solo. It rings a bell. I've read through the rules twice now for German solo, but because I've not actually played the game, it feels like it's part of that. Anyway, okay, Grant. So yeah, I mean, it does say that if all Soviet cards run out during the Soviet impulse, complete the impulse, then conduct one last German impulse to end the day. But I mean, I'm hoping that I'm right in saying that this card, I mean, it does say conduct another German impulse. After completing this activation, conduct another German impulse. It's written right there, Grant. Do you need to go and ask that question? You know what? Well, maybe. And I think I'm only thinking of it to try and save myself a little bit. Yeah, well, conduct one more German impulse. One last German impulse, it says. Does it? How's it worded? Conduct one last German impulse to end the day. It's possible. It's, you know what? I'm going to ask the question. I mean, I feel like the way it's written on the card, all attacks this activation receive the air power combat attack. After completing this activation, conduct another German impulse. I mean, if I seen that in any other game, I would assume that you were allowed to do that. So why are you thinking this is different, Grant? I don't know. It might be because it says one last German impulse in the rules. And that's allowing you to conduct another one. Yeah, you can see I'm struggling here. You know what? I don't think there's any harm. I've asked a couple of daft questions recently anyway, so, and they've turned out to be maybe not so daft, so this one might be daft though. Okay, I went away and posted the question. Clutching at straws here, try to get anything to maybe get myself some relief here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still going to have to conduct another impulse for them, but you never know. Okay, so I think we can go ahead with this. We can't do any more. Let's just double check again. It was 20 to 5. They never got any additions. 3, 6, 9, 4, 8, 11. Yeah, don't know, I'm just double checking right now. These are the things you could do off camera, Grant. Sorry. Right, 20 to 5, so that's 41. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9 chip pools. He didn't benefit from the extra combat engineers, obviously. So 9 chip pools. Right, and it will break off, well, this time we've got 4 steps, haven't we? So, yeah, a bit more for him to do here. So it'd be 1, 2, so retreat for, so that's 2 hits and then 4 steps. So he needs D6 to eliminate everybody. He's breaking off at A4, or we get to 9 chats. Right, let's get going then, I guess. Right, remember there's air power from the Manstein card as well, so I need to keep that in mind. Oh yeah, hang on. I said what, D6, he's getting a hit on us already with intelligence and he's reducing a hit to himself. Well, yeah, we'll work all that out when we come in it. So, minimum of 4 chip pools this time, because 2 2-step units. So, let's get the 4 first and see where we go from there. Well, yeah, not good, but then I don't know what we can hope for here, really. To be honest, it started not that bad. This was the first chip pool, no artillery. And this being a 3 to 1, it was 1 hit either way, but then they're getting to reduce a hit and add a hit to us as well. And then it went kind of worse. This is from turn 1 to 11. They do have armour, we do not. So we're sitting at D3 at the moment. And, well, it's actually D4. So, yeah, they only need 2 more hits to, end this. And they're sitting at no hits at all, because that A1 gets cancelled out by the hit that they can avoid. So, right, I'll draw them. We've got 5 more to draw, so I'll draw them one at a time. Yeah, more pain. There was 71 on the front, flank attack on the back. They are flanking us. It's not a town, so that counts. So that's D5. One more hat and we're gone. Okay, there we go. I just want to get this night over with. Now, I don't think I'm going to get all this done before the end of the night. I don't think we're getting the turn finished yet today. Which I thought was going to be a straightforward case, because I knew exactly what I was going to do. It was going to be reasonably quick impulse. And yeah, so attacker command 5. Yeah, he's got the von Manstein card that we well know. So that counts as a D2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits to us. No, sorry, 7 hits to us because of the intelligence and the fact that it's a 5 card. That gives us an extra hit. And then the A1 that's there gets cancelled out due to the intelligence because we are not in support. I think that was right. Something like that, anyway. Whatever it is, we're dead and he's not taking any hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so, right, it's D7 and that's that. Yeah, so D7, like I say, it's 1 hit, retreat once, 2 hits, retreat twice, and then you still got 5 more hits. We've got 4 steps, so yeah, it's really getting bad now. They're starting to just really go at us now, aren't they? Major offensive, and in particular, von Manstein card. Not a good combo when you're on this side of things. Okay, so they didn't take any hits. Like I say, they did have an A1, but it was cancelled out. So, advance after combat. All the units are applicable to advance. There was a couple came in with a join the attack, but that's fine. I've read nothing to say they can't advance. So who's first in line? Did we not have a 1 in here? We did. Are these in order? 2, 4, 7. He's a 1. And then we've got, that's a 6 and then a 10. Right, so combat occurred here. Did it? Yeah, well, it must have done. No defender adjacent chits. No woods chits. You know? I mean, okay, they're probably the only 2 things that we had going, because we were out of support as well. So, you know what, Grant? I think it was a foregone conclusion. Anyway, right, so where is this unit advancing from? It's not, his forward arrow's down that way, so it's not even adjacent. So, VP Hex enabling supply, no. Hex causing surround. Well, you know what? That is, isn't it? Yeah, because right now this guy does have an out hex here. But if he auto advances into there, which is gonna, these guys are now surrounded. So yeah, he will do that. Right, and then the next unit is Unit 2. So they're not going to cause surround. It's going to move the cards up a bit. It is adjacent. It's adjacent to his forward arrow. So it's not enabling supply, it's not causing surround, it's not forward direction. It is adjacent to forward direction. Is the unit already in? Oh, wait a minute, Grant. You've got a 2 hex advance. You've got a 2 hex advance because the unit was eliminated. So he can move further afield. My guess is as long as he doesn't remove surround, is that right? Unit will advance into. Actually, that doesn't cover that. That's strange. I would have thought there was a restriction to say that you couldn't advance if you were. I mean, I don't think it's going to apply anyway, but we've already moved in to surround that guy. if this guy was to advance the second hex, I mean, I don't think there's any way he can. Well, actually, he could go back that way. It could. It could be that it works that way because he's gone in there to surround. That was his priority, and it was an auto advance. His second hex could be like going out there and then removing them from surround, but there's no restriction that remove unit in hex in German supply won't advance into hex not in German supply. These are restrictions, right? Unit will advance into surrounded hex only if VP hex or to cause Soviet unit to become surrounded, or if I positive hex is not in Soviet support. Right, but he wasn't being surrounded anyway. Unit won't advance if doing so causes Soviet proximity to empty garrison town city hex. Mechanised unit won't advance into marsh hex. Oh, I find that one quite interesting then. I mean, whether it could, maybe they've looked at it and thought, well, it doesn't really happen, because I don't think it's going to happen here. His forward arrow's here. He's looking for the best chance. If unit advancing a second hex, there's a choice of hex. He's checked the hex with the highest chance of advance. Well, I mean, he can go in either any of these hexes, but we're looking for one that's got the first one, which is forward direction. So that's forward direction. That's an auto advance. Are any of the other ones auto advance? So Grant, you need to. I wouldn't have thought so. Like, that's not doing anything. That's not doing anything. No. It's not causing, we're already causing surround. Yeah, I think he does advance, auto advance into that second hex, into there. Now the unit is still surrounded anyway. That's why I thought, right, it's not going to matter. But interesting that that's maybe not one of the restrictions. Okay. Now, is he in any danger himself? Can he still trace supply, for instance? Yeah, he can, but he's going to have to go through this unit, so. But he can. And he's not surrounded, no. No. And he's not causing proximity to yada yada. No, right, okay. So I think he's going to go there. Right, unit 2's good. No, he's not going to auto advance. Where's the arrow? It's adjacent, right. So it's adjacent. It's not a VP hex. Hex enabling supply, no. Hex causing surround, well, no. The unit is surrounded. Hex, and then forward direction, no. So adjacent to forward direction, nobody in there, it's a 1 to 7. So he'll advance on a 1 to 7. That's an 8. Okay, so he's not going. Who's next though? Unit 4 is underneath. Better not. He will be next, so he'll advance on a 1 to 7. That's a 1. Okay, so unit 4 goes. Now he could 2-hex advance. Yeah, no, the second hex was alright. I'm forgetting about there's no path of retreat, so I need to watch that. So where's his best shot to go in? It's probably forward direction. There's a unit already there. Again. So he would advance the second hex on a 1 to 6. He rolls a 4. So yes, he does. And that's him done. And then, well, unit 2 we've already checked. Units, no, it's not 7. We've got a 6 here, Grant. So unit 6, that's opposite the forward direction. So I think that's going to be another route. Because it is not VP, it's not enabling supply. it's not causing surround, and it's not in the forward direction, it's not adjacent. Yeah, it's another route for Unit 6, so no. So then Unit 7 will advance adjacent to the forward direction on a 1 to 7. Rolls a 6, so yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty good for them, I think. Units all around us, so Unit 7 moves into here. Now, he won't no. Now, right, here we go. I wonder if this one would come up, because we've advanced that 1 hex, right? Now, his forward direction is there. Mind you, he could go there, couldn't he? Yeah. Well, humour me a minute. Like, forward direction's there. There's 2 units already advanced into that hex. Now, where does it? I need to look in the rulebook here, because it's not. I don't think it's that there's 2 units already in this hex. I think it is there's 2 units already advanced into that hex, and nobody is advanced into this hex, right? So I still think we can advance in that hex, but I need to see it written that way, and I'm sure it should be. I'm going to pause on that because we're getting tight for space again. Yeah, it is, because it clearly says, but I think this is something that catches people out. It says on the player aid, on the wee table, it says advancing units already in hex. Now you can either have 0, 1 or 2. So right now, if he was to consider moving to here, these are advancing units, and there's 2 of them already in the hex, and that means no, nobody's going to advance in that hex. However, this hex here, although it has 2 units, none of these units have advanced into that hex. So that still entitles this guy to advance into that hex, right? Okay, and it maybe makes a bit clearer in the rulebook. On page 35, it's got the wee table, and it says number of advancing German units already in the hex. So we'll keep that in our mind, guys. I think that's something that can easily catch you out, because you can just look at it and say, oh, there's 2 units in that hex, I can't advance. Well, make sure they've advanced already. Okay, that's my tip of the day. So, well, he can't advance in there. That's his best chance of advance, and there's 2 units already advanced. So he has an adjacent here or an adjacent here. So both of them are the same, in my opinion. These are 2 steps. Yep. So both of these are adjacent to forward direction, and there's no units advanced into either one of the. Hang on. Stop, Grant. I can't go in here, because I'll be going from zone of control to zone of control anyway. So this guy is going to advance into here. So hopefully I've got that right, and my tip of the day does stand. Now that's 6, and then 7. I'm just going to leave these outside, because Unit 10 is the last one to look at, but I think that's another route, isn't it? Yeah, we looked at that for the other guy. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's my way of seeing it, that he does advance the second hex. No, hold on, I need to roll dice still, Grant. Sorry, my bad. It was adjacent to forward arrow, with no units already advanced. So it's all. He will be in there if it's a 1 to 7. If not, he's back in that hex. Oh, it's an 8. Okay. Well, put it back. So you can tell me if I do happen to have that wrong then, and we're all good. We're sitting sweet. But I mean, that's how I see it. Advancing units already in hex. It doesn't mean that how many units are in the hex. It's the advancing units. Okay. Right, that's that bit. So are we done with this impulse? I'm going to have this is going to be the end of the night for me, I think. I think I'm going to have run out of time. What time is it? Can I, maybe? I don't think I can, really. Okay, well, let's finish this impulse because we've only got one more unit. I can take the Kharkov group away. This is the only unit left that's active, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So his strength is 4. He's got nobody else to help him with the situation. So let's move on by the major offensive card with that. Right? He can't do that, right? And I'm pretty sure pincer attack's not going to work either. Situational strength of active unit stack 2 times approximate. Well, you need to find something that was situationally a 2. And we've not got the major offensive anymore to remove, well, to not only give a -1 for the card, but to remove the IPs. Because I was looking at this guy here, but no. So I'm going to skip on by that and say that's a no as well. I know I'm kind of moving a bit quicker here, Grant, so I think it's right though. Okay, so now, but we've got to remember that the major offensive did trigger another activation with the von Manstein card, and then of course after that other activation we've then got to carry out another German impulse with the Manstein card, unless I get some lucky hopefully somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about replies to my question. Says, yeah, no, you don't do another German impulse, Grant. That's it. You don't. I'm just going to say, right, okay, you're spot on. I agree with you. Let's go. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Right. So that's us moved on. We're back to action steps, aren't we? That's step 4. Step 5. Let me get the right table. Right, player aid, even. Move to Hex and removes danger sign from German unit and Hex and Soviet support, or enables supply trace from German occupied Hex. Well, there's a few things happen. So remember now we're outside. The major offensive's not in play anymore. So there's probably quite a few things that are dangerous around. Yeah, there probably is, isn't there? Saying that, well, we did say this guy could move away because... Why did they not move then? Did they not have the movement to come down? Was that it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he didn't. That was the only reason he didn't come down, because he didn't have the movement. But we were willing... I think we were happy with him moving because he wasn't breaking anything up here. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. If he's there or not does not matter. This guy's still in dangerous round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now hang on, Grant. Where are you getting your dangerous? Where are you getting your surround from? You need somebody else up there, Grant. They're all German. Okay. Well, yeah. I guess I was wondering if this guy moved away, would that? Because then it's only 1 movement rather than 2 at the moment. I think it's possible this guy is in dangerous round. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this guy can go 1, 2 into there. But that guy moving away does not prevent that. Ooh. Okay. Why is he in dangerous round then, Grant? Should he not... Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. He's outside Soviet support. That might be my get out, but I don't recall talking about that, do you? Don't cause any German unit in Hex and Soviet support to be put in dangerous round. Well, they're outside Soviet support, but the thing is, I just don't recall thinking about that. You know what? I think that's another hour gone, and we've still got more to do. So, what I'm going to do, I'll put that camp marker back there. Just put on him, just to remind myself that he's not quite completed his activation of this turn. It's just him I've got to deal with. It might be a good idea to watch back on some of the stuff now, I think. Yeah, that's what I should do with the rest of the night. Go and watch some stuff back, because I'm not quite sure how this guy... I recall talking a little bit regarding units that were outside the Soviet support line, but that just is not ringing a bell. But he is outside the Soviet support, Grant, so why are you caring? Why are you bothering? I don't know. I just don't feel I can go much more tonight anyway, so... Right, I'm going to leave it at that. What a terrible impulse up to now this has been. This so-called last impulse. Let's see if I got maybe a quick response before we wrap this up. Yeah, okay, nothing to say good or bad just now, but I'm pretty sure we're having another German impulse. We do still have to remember that the major offensive triggered another activation with the Manstein card though. So there's that, but I shouldn't forget that, I think. So that last unit to activate while we're looking at step 5, action step 5 we're at. I know it's kind of in the middle of things. I just feel like, you know what I'll do? I'll put a wee 5 there. That's what action step I'm on, just to maybe bring it to my attention if I forget. But this is going to be a part anyway, so I can look at the very last few seconds of this video to remind myself where I'm at. Okay, and hopefully be back tomorrow with what is this, 76 I think, so it'll be 77 I think. Yeah, not a good day at all, but still good fun, enjoying it. Like I say, it's not that I'm like, my head's going down, I'm feeling a bit deflated and whatever. No, not at all. I think, we're on turn 7, maybe I've got lucky and this is only starting to kick in now, and it maybe could have happened on turn 6 a little bit more, and I maybe got luckier on turn 6. But I think this is what you're expecting, but it's just brutal. And I think, well, that card combination is the worst, isn't it? Okay, right, I'll be back tomorrow, guys. Okay, cheers.